Huzzah. Alright. Well, like I said, oh, wow, people. Like I said, my food's probably going to arrive in the next 10 minutes or so apparently timing sucks. But we'll play
Don't worry,
regardless.
I have a commercial idea.
Oh, 1 second. I am switching tabs here. 1 second. I'll be right back. I am back.
Welcome back.
Alright. I think we're golden.
Awesome.
Let's get started then. Alright. So welcome to another 12 FPS, everybody. My name's MitzvahRose, and I'll be hosting this session with Mira here. I'll let Mira introduce herself and her character in a second, but first I want to jump right into the story. But just as a quick warning before I do, there's going to be spoilers to ModMad's Lost and Found in this, so if you haven't listened to that or the Taffy Train Saga, I recommend you leave to do so instead. Alright, well, with that out of the way, let's get started. Today we're traveling back in time for this game, all the way back to Lost and Found, in fact, back to when the Engineers movie was first released. We find ourselves in a theater in Toontown, one of many packed to the brim with fans. The crowd is silent. They know the climax of the film is approaching, and one toon in particular is sitting on the edge of his seat in anticipation. With that, we cut to Sammy.
It's a bad time to be an urchin in Inkwell. The streets are cold. Places are filled with slush and snow, and despite the upturn of spirits after Dora's defeat, that very chill has already sunk into Sammy's already grey outlook on life, heightening a struggle that has been going on inside him ever since he was 10 and first on the streets, running from the remnants of a happier time that had long since been burnt to ashes. How can someone whose entire self was based off of the love and protection of others keep going when they've been cut off from the very thing that gave them strength? How can a numb, colorless toon survive? But even in the darkest times, or maybe because of those dark times, light shines. Sammy went into the bright, warmly lit theater because he wanted to escape the cold, if just for a little bit. He stayed riveted to his seat because the engineer's message broke through that cold, numbing gray, and for just a little bit, the shading on his skin is a pale yellow. It's been his first color in 8 years. I want to find someone to protect, like the tramp and the kid, he thinks as the climax hits. And then he turns his head and sees a familiar face. It's almost like a sign from the gods, and Sammy isn't just about to let it pass by.
Bravo. Not too far from where Sammy's sitting, a small bat-like toon crouches watching the movie. He's in the back row, curled up on top of one of the theater's comfy chairs so as to get a better view. So far, he'd been less than impressed with the lack of action, but now he knows something special is about to happen. After all, he'd been there when everything went wrong. When the engineer's character hits the ice, the toon's eyes go wide, paws clenching as his claws dig into the upholstery. His mouth hangs open for once, not displaying a smirk or scowl, gasping as what he'd been waiting for finally occurs. That's when Sammy looks over. He looks over just in time to catch him like this, a starstruck expression lighting up his face in an uncharacteristic show. Some time has passed since that moment, and the credits are rolling. The moviegoers are chattering to themselves in excitement over another masterpiece from the engineer. But one toon in particular seems to be missing, having slipped out as the first words rolled across the screen. Alright, what do you want to do?
Sammy is going to want to roll perception to see if he can remember where exactly, if he noticed at all, that Koda had left.
Have at it.
Okay, my perception is... 1 moment, I have to...
Here's the first roll, and here's praying it works.
Okay, that is exclamation point D20 plus is perception modifier is +3. Here we go. Oh, that
Not
is
a good
7.
roll, but it was a really easy one to pass. A really easy one to pass. In fact, I didn't even need to make you roll. I just let you do it anyways. Alright, well, with that roll, you still notice what I was going to tell you. Your best guess is that the unknown Toon that you saw probably snuck out the emergency exit. The one closest to where the missing Toon went is to your left.
Sammy goes left.
Excellent. You leave through the emergency exit. And when you step outside into the brisk air, you see that the dimly lit street lamps have turned on, almost exactly as you step out. In fact, it's slowly turning to night. While the conditions outside are better than they were before, brisk air and all, it's still cold out, and there's a fine coating of snow on most surfaces you can see. The area that Sammy's walked to is pretty barren, not surprising considering that he just, made his way into an alleyway behind the movie theater. There are two exits, not including the one leading back into the theater. One leads around to the entrance, and the other is barred off by a wooden gate. But ignoring all of that, the first thing Sammy likely notices is the small purple Toon from before that's idling around the area. The Toon has a thoughtful, if somewhat confused look on his face, but despite this, he immediately notices Sammy's arrival as he'd been keeping a close eye on the door. The Toon says nothing, eyeing Sammy uncertainly.
Sammy's gonna wave, and keeping kind of a respectful distance, he's gonna go, "What'd you think about the movie?"
The Toon eyes you and just grumbles something.
Sammy, I don't know what Sammy exactly would do. He feels really awkward because, like, he kind of feels like this kind of connection, but at the same time, he's still reeling from the fact that, like, he actually felt something while watching the movie. So he's kind of off kilter right now because, like, here's this familiar face and what's the chances of him seeing him right when he had that thought?
I'm gonna say that my character does in fact recognize you as well, but he doesn't care. He's just staring at you with narrowed eyes, like, why are you following me kind of idea. He doesn't say anything, but it's definitely the vibe you're getting.
Yeah, this is, like, so hard because, like, I myself, as, like, this is out of character, I'm like, oh. But at the same time, Sammy's like, oh. Even when we talked about this, like, part of my brain never actually figured out how I would actually figure out that Sammy would approach Koda.
That's fair, and that's why I put in a failsafe. I'm gonna say that right as you open your mouth, as Sammy opens his mouth to try and fumble through a conversation, my character Koda, abruptly stiffens, stretching his wings out and backing away. His eyes are focused on something just past Sammy. Now wait just a second, you two. Or rather, he's focused on someone. An old Toon has just made his way out of the theater, glaring tiredly at both Koda and Sammy. He's very clearly a dog of some kind, and he already looks so very done with the situation.
Sammy, under his breath, says, "Oh, Peck."
The dog continues by saying, I recognize the both of you. You keep sneaking into this theater. Now I just won't stand for that. The two of you better come here and pay for your tickets, or so help me. With every word from the old guard dog, Koda's been slowly backing away.
Sammy has, like, 10 gold, and if the guard's wanting him to pay for every single ticket that he has totally skipped out on, yeah, Sammy's kind of edging slowly away as well, because he don't got the money for that.
The dog definitely sees this. He's old, but he's not blind. So he reaches for something at his belt, and the moment he does so, the little purple Toon takes flight and dashes away, gaining a head start in an attempt to get away from both Sammy and the guard.
Sammy runs after, and I guess this is the point where I should probably post the title card into the peanut gallery.
As you do that, the dog howls and gives chase.
Welcome everybody to the obligatory chase scene.
Every action movie needs one. So the first thing that's gonna happen is that, remember that gate I mentioned before? Yeah, Koda flies right over that wooden gate. There is a door, but it's closed, probably locked considering, and you're not gonna be able to reach Koda from here. You're gonna have to get over that gate. And the dog is
Okay.
right behind you.
Okay, so Koda is going to try to not Koda. Sammy is going to try and jump, like, see if he can scramble his way up the fence because he doesn't got time for that. Let's try some parkour.
All right, you want a parkour specifically?
Sure.
All right, I was gonna say athletics, but with parkour, I'll accept acrobatics.
Okay, they're both the same for me, so I will just do a d20 plus 2.
Ooh, wow, you do it with a flourish. You almost grab Koda as he's flying away, but not quite. Not quite. He just flies perfectly out of reach. Like you skim his tail as you vault over the fence and launch yourself in his direction. So you come to another clearing on the other side of the fence, and I'll give a quick description because of something that's going to happen. On the other side of the fence, Sammy notices a lone lamppost lighting the area. Its bulb is flickering, casting dark shadows across the alleyway. There's also a single person here that appears to be a drunk humanoid Toon who's surrounded by bottles. Koda, in a desperate attempt to avoid you, swoops down and towards the Toon and grabs a couple of his empty bottles scattered around him. He then, glancing behind him with wide eyes, throws one directly at your face. I'm gonna roll the hit.
Oh, shoot.
-4 because of improvised weapon. Ah, yeah, it sails past and hits the dog. With a -2. It totally sails past and hits the wrong target. You hear a whimper and a thump as the dog fails his climbing without even getting a chance to climb. I guess I'll have the dog climb after this next part. Poor puppy. So yeah, Koda, clutching another bottle, flies around a corner. And again, you can hear that old dog whimpering as he tries to scrabble up the gate again. Let's roll for Doggo.
Oh, I feel so bad for the dog.
Yeah, with a -2, it had to hit something entirely unintentionally. So, Doggo's just having a bad day, man.
Oh,
Doggo can't climb. Good thing he has a key. So he scrambles to grab his key while the two of you run away. What do you do? Do you turn the corner to follow? Or
Sammy kind of looks back, but his regret is actually kind of muffled, and he one moment. There's like a slight hint of. Sorry, I have to grab my reference of his colors. There's kind of like this pale shade of purple that is on his skin that quickly fades as he runs around the corner.
I want to know these colors, but it doesn't make sense for me to roll insights.
Considering Koda is running.
Yes, he's definitely not looking at you. Oh, 1 second. My cat is going towards the door. Nope, false alarm. I thought it was food. Okay, so as Sammy turns the corner to follow, you are turning the corner, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
he's running around the corner.
He sees a short path ending with a fork in the road. Aside from said fork, he also sees a path leading to the left and a path straight ahead blocked by boxes. Koda definitely flies to the left, vanishing around the corner.
Sammy follows.
Alright. So as you follow, you're immediately surprised as you notice a pair of wires sway as they hang between two apartment buildings. The part that surprises you is the fact that when you pass direct underneath them, just as you turn the corner, a long blue scarf hanging from one of them smacks you in the face. Apparently, they've been turned into a clothesline. So you've been accosted by Scarf and temporarily blinded.
Sammy grabs the scarf off of his face and tries to look and see if he can find where Koda has gone in the time that he hasn't been able to see anything.
Conveniently, Koda's vanished. There's only one path to take, though, so... Unless he flew up, there's only one way he could go.
I'm gonna have Sammy roll another perception roll. Just because, like, he's not exactly sure which way. Because he does have wings!
Mm-hmm.
$20... Ooh, that's an 8.
Alright. You're gonna have to... I'm gonna contest that against my stealth. Pray. That's a +4 to stealth. Alright, let's... Ooh. Oh my!
Just barely!
Okay! Yeah, you don't notice. It's quite miraculous, though, considering where he was very sloppy in his escape attempt. But you managed to not notice where the tune went. I guess, do you keep running forward? Because other than back, that's your only option.
Forward.
And you finally...
Yeah, he runs forward.
Behind you, you hear barking as the dog chasing you rounds the corner.
Sammy is still... He's purple again. Like, slightly purple. Because he is alarmed.
Alright, do you run forward? Do you...
Yeah, he runs forward.
Okay.
He runs forward still. He doesn't want to hurt the dog.
Alright, so, I'm gonna say with that roll, at the very least, you do notice one thing. I will give you the chance to roll again for reasons, and if you roll well enough, you can, I guess, try and see where Koda went, but, with the previous roll, you do notice one thing. Oh, a 10. Okay, it's not good enough. But you do notice, a scuffed up cherry red bike leaning against a garbage bin. It's apparently been thrown out, but at first glance, it looks like it worked just fine.
Sammy grabs it. He's gonna need all the speed he can get.
Bike
even if it's just to escape. Even if it's just to escape this dog.
The dog. You can feel his breath in the back of your neck. Except not really, but it's cool for the tension. Yeah, I have a question for you. Is your rat friend with you?
Yes.
I will allow you to roll one more time for perception.
Okay, come on, Squeakers.
Because
please have better perception.
This is supposed to give you advantage on...
Oh!
Yeah, I was going to give you advantage on that last roll, and it paid off. So, while you have no idea where Koda went, you do see something, you do, or rather, your rat companion does notice something.
Squeakers.
Squeakers was his name?
Yeah, Squeakers.
Amazing. So Squeakers notices another rat. This rat is scrambling into a small little side area, being chased by a cat. Your options are to either keep going and turn the corner at breakneck speed of bike, or go into this little side area with dog on tail.
He's gonna rescue the rat. He's friends with the rats on the street. He's not gonna leave a cat to, like, terrorize one of his potential friends.
Aww. Alright, so you go into the little side area?
Yep.
I'm gonna say that the dog at this point will definitely catch up to you, but I'll let you do this first.
Okay.
See the area first. So there is, in fact, a small brown rat that is being cornered by a large calico cat. No, not the same calico cat from before, but it is a cat.
Since Sammy is Frankenelli, he's going to use speak with animals or whatever the spell is called.
Mm-hmm. It's basically just not intelligible hissing from the cat. This cat's hungry. This cat's very hungry. Poor kitty. And you hear panic yells from the rat that are equivalent to help me, dear God, help me. And you also hear some squeaks that sound kind of like imp. Behind you, the dog grabs you, huffing and puffing as he grabs a hold of you. I'm gonna roll to grapple you. So it's gonna
is
be
there a roll that I do to contest? Or...
athletics minus athletics against either your let's see, what was it? It was athletics or acrobatics, if I recall correctly. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Let's go with that. So, roll to contest the grapple. You're gonna beat a 15.
Okay, which one do I roll again?
It's either athletics or acrobatics, if I recall correctly. Let me double check that.
Okay. Sorry, it's just I've never actually had to roll for a grapple yet.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 2. Oh, that's another dirty 20.
Okay, impressive. You may have failed at perception, but you're succeeding at everything else.
Sammy's just not really observant, I guess.
Apparently. Okay, so with that, you throw the doggo off, and he stumbles backwards, huffing at you. He's slobbering a little bit in aggravation, but mostly he just looks exhausted. What do you do with this split second to help this rat, or anything involving the cat? You have a single move.
Sammy's gonna grab the cat and yeet it in the dog's face.
Brilliant. Okay, you've yeeted the cat with a and cat flies directly into Doggo, or he would if you could roll a d20 for me. Roll to hit.
Okay. Just a regular d20?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have proficiency in cat throwing, so I should say -4, but okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you yeet this cat in the completely wrong direction. Especially considering it should be a -4 to that.
That would be like a -1 then.
Yeah, you yeet him in the wrong direction.
Does it fall on the rat that Sammy's trying to save?
No, it doesn't fall on the rat. It just goes flying. Like you know that thing with the Team Rocket we're blasting off again? Yeah, that's the cat. Cat dog.
Blasting off again.
That's at least one problem taken care of. Okay. Wow. I gotta look at my notes for that one. Okay. So, you've managed to save the rat. You squeak something about behind you, and the dog is attempting to grab you again. I mean, what else is he gonna do? He takes out his baton to swat at you.
Can I roll to do a dexterity throw to dodge?
I was just gonna roll to hit. He's trying to swat you with a baton. He
Oh,
tried. He
yeah,
knocked
that
you
would hurt.
prone.
Oh,
This doggo is not
ooh.
happy with you. He's had a long day. Apparently, he put too much oomph in that blow, but at least he didn't hurt you.
With a 19, I would expect actually Sammy to like get some like damage.
I mean, if you insist, you can take 1 damage.
Okay.
If you insist. I was just gonna say that he was attempting to knock you to the ground, but I mean, yeah, I guess it makes more sense if you insist. So yeah, you're prone with this dog standing above you who's reaching for handcuffs. He says, "I may not be the police, but I'm still taking you in."
Crap.
The rat from before scurries into your hood, but really can't do much else.
Sammy kind of like pats him to like make sure that he's okay.
All right, you're on the ground and you take time to take care of the rat. That's sweet.
The rats are his friends.
You have a lump growing on your head and still rat comes first. That's precious.
Yeah, am I able to like try and scramble away, or is it he's still prone?
He's prone, but he can try to do something. It is his turn. I'm not bothering to roll initiative because it is just the 2 of you.
Fair enough. Let me see what I can potentially do.
This is the equivalent of you tripping on a small rock. You know, one of those scenes in the movie?
Yeah.
Except the dog guard is for once competent, apparently.
Yeah, so...
food. Oh, 1 second, food. You can decide.
Perfect. I can do my, I'll wait until, like, you're all set and stuff to tell you what I do, but I can do the commercial.
Excellent. I'll be back.
Okay. So, while Sammy's prone, conveniently, a flyer floats out from under the bream and smacks him in the face. He pulls it off, and it's an advertisement for a car wash. And suddenly, the audience hears, "Car wash for tunes. Got a special event that needs a special polish? Come down to the car wash. Got a day that you really need to get that dirt out from underneath your grill? Come to the car wash. You'll be great."
Thank you for Red Robin, by the way.
Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, sure. Clean up your line art. Oh.
Tell me when I'm good to go, Mom.
That's all I got. Oh, Sammy's not having a good time. Also, I think I might have accidentally discovered my Abby voice. Okay.
Tell me when you're good to go.
We think of any potential other commercials.
Okay. You're good to go?
Any requests from the audience?
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. I was about to, like, ask the audience for more ideas for commercials.
Would you like to do it anyways?
Magic's typing, so if Magic has an idea, maybe.
Commercial break, as we, to be continued. You know that scene, to be continued, with the dog holding his baton over your head?
Yes. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr. M-H.
I don't know if I would be able to do that, just because,
we need Fable.
Yeah, we would need Fable for that.
Oh no, Fable, I can't unmute you. Oh no. Alright, Fable, you have to do this later. Too bad, Louise, we're getting it.
Oh, I can't unmute. What the?
Oh, you can't. Oh, because you're an actor. Okay. You're an actor. Convenient.
Oh, yeah. Do you want?
Do it. Guest starring Fable. Mr. N just
well. Are you looking for some work? Some Under the... Oh dear, I don't know how to do a commercial. Oh my. I'm not paying for this. Come down to Mr. M's agency for a partnership deal. It's to die for, really.
Bravo. Amazing. Oh, we have guns in the chat. Okay, water guns in the chat.
Oh, and a knife.
Knives.
And a knife.
Alright, I'm keeping that. That's gonna be in the game. I don't care what you say. This is in. Only one who can dissuade me is Fable. Oh my god. Alright, back to our regularly scheduled dog.
And just as soon as that little advertisement that had smacked Sammy in the face, it flies away conveniently.
Lovely.
So Sammy is going to kick out at the dog to see if he can make the dog trip so he can scramble away.
Roll to
safety.
trick dog.
One moment, I just need to go to my actions. It would be an unarmed strike, right?
Yeah.
20.
Do the dice want you to... the dice don't like you. The dice just want this dog to have its moment to shine. I don't have enough plan for this dog for him to shine, dice. Why do you do this to me? Alright, dog takes out...
having a good night.
Yeah. Somewhere in the far off distance you hear a cackle from the purple tune. He got away scot-free. So yeah, the dog takes out handcuffs and attempts to slap them on you. I'll give you a chance to, try and avoid this. I guess.
Would this be a dexterity?
I guess a dexterity save. I don't know what to call this.
Okay, gotta find that really quickly on my sheet. Ooh. Wrong button. That would probably be under...
This chase scene turned into an arrest.
Dexterity. So that would be Dex plus 2. So D20 plus 2, right?
I guess.
17.
Woo! Wow, yeah, you slap those handcuffs away and they go flying off in the direction of the cat. Alright, the dog stares at you like, okay. He doesn't have a second pair of handcuffs, unfortunately, because he's just a guard. But...
Sammy's been a bit deadpan. Not today.
Not today. So this guard dog just, I guess he attempts to grapple you, to force you to comply. Roll to grapple for me, I guess. Alright, that's a +1. He's already knocked you prone. He's going to try and drag you off. This dog is having a very bad day. That's why he's going above and beyond for this. He's just had a very bad day. He's having a worse day now. Go ahead and contest his grapple.
I would roll strength, right?
Yeah, or no, athletics or acrobatics or whatever.
Oh, right. Well, the same either way.
Mm-hmm.
So, 20.
This is an old dog. He's feeble.
Oh, another nat 20!
What do you do to the dog?
He basically grabs the dog by the wrist and, yanks him over his head so the dog is, off its feet. And can Sammy take this opportunity to run?
You have a bike. Yes, you can run or bike away.
He's gonna grab that bike and Hume.
With a 20, go the frig ahead, man. Even if it's not nat, that's beautiful with his 9. So this dog just lands on his back with an oomph, and he just looks so done. He's giving this look like, why is he here? Is he here just to suffer? I
feel so bad.
You zoom around the corner, and you just keep zooming. You zoom around another corner, and you try to escape. You hear a distant, you hear a whine from the dog, and he just, as you leave, he just struggles to his feet, watching you race off.
I feel so bad for the dog.
Yeah, he's having a bad day, man. Alright, so you've turned a corner to, reach around. You turn another corner. You see another straightaway. And you see, there are apartment buildings to either side of you. Fire escapes and stuff. But, you could always just keep biking.
Sammy's gonna roll another perception check to see if he can find where this other tune went. Because he really does want to, talk to him, even if it's
Gone horribly
awkward and
wrong.
fumbling. Yeah.
Alright, so we're still doing a chase scene, just it's a one-man chase scene.
It's 4. No, actually, no, it's a nat 1. He
Wait.
doesn't see anything. He got a nat 1 in perception.
Oh, that's depressing. Yeah, no, what I described earlier, you just see a straight path. You don't even see the apartments I mentioned. It's just, you've become tunnel visioned.
Yeah, his purple shading is actually a little bit darker now, because he's a little too freaked out by having gotten knocked prone by that guard.
Actually, you think you might have figured out why this bike was thrown away. It seems to have been enchanted with tunnel vision or something. Alright, so, yeah, there's only one path to take. You can't exactly back up this way. You just keep going.
Yeah, he just keeps going.
You come to another corner and you make a left vroom. And you keep vrooming. And you come back to where you lost the tune in the first place. You can go left, you can go right. Left is where, the doggo was last seen. Right is where the clothesline is.
Sammy's gonna go right again.
Alright, you noom past the clotheslines and you're back to where you started. Honestly, this is ridiculous. You see behind you a dog just shaking his fist, but he seems to have given up. Like this, he realizes he's not strong enough for this. He doesn't get paid enough, man.
Honestly, there's some part of Sammy that feels really, really bad, but he doesn't have the money to pay for, skipping on all those tickets. It's cold, man.
Alright, you see, you're back to the fork in the road, along with the path to the left and the path to the right. The path to the left is blocked off by barrels and stuff, and you could always just, backpedal. The magic of the tunnel vision seems to have worn off miraculously.
Oh. Sammy's gonna do one more perception check to see if he can see a way, maybe around the barrels or something, because it's a path he hasn't gone down yet.
Alright, you roll perception.
14!
Alright. Yeah, there's definitely a path there. It's just blocked off by barrels. I mean, nothing special. But also, you see something that leads you to believe that the guard never intended to win this. You see a little note there with, 1 second. You see a little note that has very big, bold letters written on it, and it distinctly smells like wet dog.
Sammy picks up the note and reads it.
All it says is just to stay away from his theater. He's just tired, man. He took a moment while you were having your attempt to find Koda to put down this note, because, man, it's not the first time he's had someone intrude. He's seen you guys before. This is just the first time he's managed to catch up. This poor dog.
Poor dog.
And the rolls have not been kind to this session because most of my plans have flown right out the window. But I knew it would happen!
Sorry.
I knew it would happen! So, yeah, the dog is just in the background. He's just slumped against the wall and he's, chilling. He's just taking a moment to chill. He's kind of sad he lost his handcuffs, but it's probably for the best, considering the fact that you're much stronger than him for reasons.
True.
He's going on a smoke break, man.
That's valid.
So you can
Trying to
always
think of
try
what.
and back up and try and figure out where you lost Koda, or you can go
Yeah,
to the left where the barrels are, or you can just go right back to the entrance. You have this
he's
whole
gonna figure
fiasco.
out. He's gonna figure out where he last lost Coda because he's just like, okay, obviously trying to wing it's not working. Maybe going back and like trying to remember where he last saw the tune will be good.
All right, so you basically approach the dog.
Sammy is going to try and sneak past.
Nah, no, man, he sees you. He sees you.
Darn it.
This dog is just he eyes you like why? But he doesn't do anything. He's just watching you and face palms.
Sammy just kind of awkwardly waves and like keeps going.
This dog just grumbles to himself and said, guess you saw my note, huh? Well, yeah, I'm an old dog, man. This old dog. He can't learn any more new tricks. You know what? You're clearly looking for that little fella. Yeah, I've seen him around before. He lives in the area as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure he lives off near that little branch off. He goes to movies almost every day. It's ridiculous how often I've had to chase him out. At this point, it's just for show.
Sammy nods.
Yeah, you're just in a
And then
conversation with this dog now, who slapped
Sammy
you
like
over the head with a baton.
Sammy just kind of nods, and any trace of color disappears.
The dog lifts a big bushy brow, but then kind of shrugs and takes a drag from his cigar, and puffs it out and says, "I'm heading back to the theater. Just please don't come back inside." And he goes to his feet, walks past, slaps you in the back good naturedly, and shuffles off. So you've learned that the little bat thing apparently lives nearby, loves movies, and you're guessing knows this area better than anyone. So there's no way you'd probably notice the secret path he took.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of what he would do.
all you see, as I assume are you still on the bike? The bike of tunnel vision?
He's still on the bike, but he's got like 1 foot off.
All right,
Like he's
cool.
kind of like halfway on, halfway off.
Well, where you found the bike, there's this old trash bin, one of those big bins. Farther past is where you yeeted the cat, and then there was that big circle along that area where you came back around to where you started.
Okay.
And as you recall, further past the clotheslines, there's still those barrels.
Sammy's gonna investigate those barrels.
Yeah, you already did. You know you can get past them just fine.
That's fair. Sammy's gonna get off the bike and just kind of squeeze past the barrel.
I feel bad. This has gone horribly wrong. Oh, my plans. Damn it, Dice.
The Dice boss cursor hates me.
Damn it, Dice. I shouldn't have even had your perception. Screw it, I'll remember that for later. So, yeah, you shimmy past the barrels with the preemptively pinned on note, and you come to this another long stretch before there's a clearing of sorts. At the clearing, You can see some spray cans that, without any help, appear to be spraying graffiti onto the brick walls. As expected, most of the walls are covered in graffiti, though the art itself is quite impressive. In the distance, you can hear a crash boom followed by laughter from one of the nearby apartments, and you can tell from that alone that it sounds like someone just did a successful gag. There's also some crates and barrels just scattered around the area, but there's neither hide nor hair of the little tune from before.
Okay. Sammy's gonna go investigate the gag, because, like, he's kind of had a rough night. He didn't really expect getting chased around in circles after that theater.
This gag is just in an apartment building, somewhere above you. I mean, you could always try and climb to see it, but it's just, someone enjoying their night off.
Sammy can respect that.
Night with the family.
Oh, Sammy wishes he had one.
Ah! Why'd you just throw that out there? Wow, okay.
You really? There's a reason why Sammy is on the street, and why he's kind of hyper-fixated on this really very good at hiding tune.
Yeah, apparently. This dude is excellent at hiding. I can't believe I'm flipping 9. An 8 and a 9.
Sammy's just a little too unobservant.
Alright, so as you look around for the gag and stuff, apparently very interested in it, you hear squeaking directly next to your ear.
Sammy turns to the mouse, the
rat.
Is it mouse or rat? The rat. The rat that's squeaking at him and kind of makes an inquisitive noise.
The rat jumps off, turns to look at you, turns back around, waggles his tail, and scurries off behind some of the crates.
Sammy follows.
Roll perception then.
Okay. D20 plus 3. 6.
Okay, the rat's vanished. The rat's vanished, man. You're just so unobservant.
Can I roll perception for squeakers?
Go ahead, man. I guess.
Squeakers, please have better perception than Sammy. Wait, whoops, that was not.
Do a D20 plus 3.
Plus 15.
Oh yeah, that's just enough to pass. There were other ways you could have gone about this, but the easiest and most, simplistic way, ask the rat.
Squeakers points to where the rat went.
Yeah, you're led
kind of
to...
in an exasperated manner. Come on, I raised you better.
You're led to a literal hole in the wall.
Okay. Sammy's going to knock and then kind of address the rat that he assumes is in there, and is like, "Rat friend, I hope you're okay," after the cat.
You hear squeaking. Do you still have Speak with Animal on?
Yeah.
Alright. There's squeaking and shuffling around, and the rat says something like, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?"
Where's who?
Where is he?
Oh. Sammy is very concerned and kind of pokes his head further into the hole. Where's who? My rat friend?
You can just barely get your upper body in that hole, but you can go no further. Inside the hole...
he's just poking his head in.
Alright, fair. Inside this hole, you see the little brand rat, scrabbling through a very messy area. There's a torn up pillow and a raggedy old blanket that appears to make up a bed. And other than that, there's just some miscellaneous junk and shiny things scattered around the small space.
Oh no.
This rat is trying to like dig through the blanket and stuff. It does not look happy.
Can Sammy reach in and kind of like peel back the blanket to help his new rat friend to look for the him?
The him. Yeah, there's nothing there, and this rat kind of whines and says, I lost Koda."
Oh, Sammy has a shade of blue that's like really deep, which is really unusual for him because he usually is colorless and he is feeling emotions tonight. It's been wild.
Well, how are you planning on finding Koda? Because the rat lost him. You know where the rat was. That's around where he lost him. And yeah, you can try and head back. You can try there. The only other things in the area are those cans that are magically spraying on their own, and just a couple crates. You know, aside from the little hole in the wall.
Sammy's going to ask the rat if excuse me, rat friend, is this Koda, have I been chasing Koda? I didn't mean to scare him.
The rat has no idea what you're talking about. He hadn't realized Koda was being chased. He'd been taking a nice long nap, apparently. But when he just suddenly kind of fell off his friend.
Oh.
So the rat just kind of relays this in squeak and says nothing else.
Sammy kind of puts his hand into the hole and is like, I'll help you find him.
The rat...
Kind of my fault that you fell, I think.
The rat is... that the guard. The rat is very pleased by this. The rat trusts you immensely because you did save him from the yeeted cat. The rat scrambles on, and the little "you've gained a party member" music plays.
So I don't have to call you rat friend all the time. Can I know your name?
Jackie.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say that without the Toon voice.
Yeah, Jackie.
Jackie. Okay. It's nice to meet you, Jackie. This is Squeakers.
I would like to point out that he is in fact speaking rat. You know, like animal voices, noises.
Right. It's a good thing that Sammy has animal speak.
It's very convenient.
And Squeakers kind of squeaks the hello at Jackie.
Jackie goes into, huddle next to Squeakers. New friend.
Yeah, Squeakers kind of just gives him a hug with his tail, because, it's rough when you lose your human. He understands.
Your tune, but yeah. When you lose your tune.
That's fair. When you lose your person, it's hard.
Alright.
Squeakers nearly lost Sammy. It was not good.
Oh no. But that's for another session. What do you do?
Yeah, Sammy's gonna head back to where he found the cat. And he's going to roll another perception check to see if he can notice anything.
Before you do that, I'm gonna say you passed the dog along on the way there.
That's true. Sammy's gonna actually ask the dog and, can't find Koda, the bat. Have you seen him running by at all?
The dog looks up from his smoke break and kind of lifts an ear and looks at you with a cocked head. I didn't realize that you actually know that guy. The little kid, poor fella, he lives up down that road. Didn't you see him? I saw you come from there.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there.
Well, that's surprising, to be honest. Normally when he escapes a chase, he goes there. Don't ask me how I know that. I have been at this for a long time.
Yeah, the shading on Sammy is starting to turn, from blue to, a really dark purple.
Oh, colors. Can I have the dog roll insight?
Yep.
Sweet. I want the dog to roll insight. That's wisdom, right? It's a +0. This dog has a roll now. Oh, what's a 15 give him?
Let me really quickly look at my. Yeah, that matches. Well, it beats. Sammy is getting very, very scared because Jackie has lost his friend, and it's bringing up some really bad memories for Sammy.
Oh no. Oh. My
Like, at this
improv
point,
has
he
hurt the
doesn't.
child.
Like, at this point, he's not even really, like, caring about, like, getting to talk to Dakota about the movie and, like, hey, I've kind of seen you before. It's more of, I gotta get my new rat friend, Jackie, back to his person.
Oh.
I have to reunite a family.
Oh. Well, the dog apparently somehow magically knowing all of this. Yeah, I don't know the dog's name. Guys, help me with a name. Who has a good name idea? Who's the guard dog?
I kind of want to call him Clover.
Clover? Oh, it's a dude though. Clover isn't really a female. It's kind of a female name, isn't it?
True. Like,
Barkson.
shrug. Barkson? That's pretty fun.
His name is now Billy Barkson. Billy Barkson.
Billy Barkson. Billy Barkson. I love
Credit
that.
to Fable and Magic. Billy Barkson.
Billy Barkson.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was okay. Billy Barkson the dog, the guard dog. Alright, Fable,
Yeah.
you've not only provided a commercial, but also a name. And magic too, of course.
I don't know if the applause could be audible,
We
but I was
heard.
applauding.
Oh. Alright, okay. Billy Barkson, as he introduces himself, because apparently this dog is actually really nice, despite the fact he swatted you over the head hard.
To be fair, Sammy was kind of a little bit of a jerk and not really helping him when he got, like, bonked in the head by Koda's bottle throwing.
Yeah, to be fair, he did get hit with 4 points of damage.
And, like, for all that the dog knew that it could have been Sammy who was the one who bonked him on the head.
He did just caress the gate, so that's a fair thing to note. Alright. So this dog guard dog, interchangeable really, Billy Barkson looks at you and pats you on the shoulder and says, "Lad, you see, there's nothing really to be afraid of. This kid, never really caught his name, I don't think. Did you say it was Koda? Koda. Anyways, this kid, he's got a mighty great sense of self-preservation. I'm sure he's just hunkered down somewhere. Doesn't really talk to others much, you know? His voice goes really quiet and he leans and he says, if I'm being honest, and don't tell anyone I said this, I really need this job. But if I'm being honest, I've let that little brat go many a time. That's how I know about where his hidey hole is. Plus, I don't fit well. It's kind of small.
Sammy kind of laughs at that, and his fear kind of slightly lightens, but it's still a light. There's like still a light shade of purple because he's still really concerned about where Koda is.
So Billy pats his tummy as he says the whole "it's kind of small" part, and then he taps his nose and says, "Now, if you happen to have something of his that I could follow."
I don't know if the scarf would actually count because that was a clothesline.
Oh no, that is nothing. No, he wouldn't be able to follow that. It's never even met Koda. Nah, you hear squeaking. You hear squeaking.
Sammy kind of holds up his hand and it's like, Jackie here has been with Koda for a while. It's how I know he's missing.
The Billy stares at you for a long second, and says, "You want me to sniff a rat?"
It's the only thing I have with that might have his scent alongside rat scent. I don't know.
Was there nothing in his whole... You know what? Sure, why not? I'll sniff the rat. He leans in and gives a big whiff, scrunches up his face, sticks out his tongue as he backs away and says, "Ugh, street rat. No offense, little guy." Squeaking, that means none taken. And then he leans in to sniff again, narrows his gaze, and goes onto all fours and starts sniffing the ground. Very cartoony, like. His tail goes straight up, and he takes that pointer dog pose, one paw outstretched and all. He's pointing down where the cat was, unsurprisingly. And he charges off.
Sammy follows.
He goes underneath the clothesline, and you get hit in the head by underwear this time. It's
heart
underwear.
shape.
Yeah,
There's heart underwear.
Heart underwear. It's lovely. You hear squeaking laughter. You charge past the clothesline, and you come to that bin from before that the bike had originally been leaning against. The bike of tunnel vision. That apparently gained its magic powers upon a Nat 1 when it was first used. It's just destiny now to always roll Nat 1s on the first attempt.
Noted.
Alright, so he's doing the pointer dog directly at the trash bin.
Sammy's gonna knock and go, I think your rat friend is missing you.
Nothing
and holds
happens.
out and
Nothing happens.
Sammy sighs and reaches over and lifts up the can. The can lid.
You don't see anything in the can beyond, trash. But Jackie scrambles down your hand and into the can, the bin, and kind of vanishes into the garbage.
Sammy just calls, "Did you find him?"
There's just, generic squeaking.
Okay.
Behind you, you hear the guard dog get back up and lean back to crack his back and says, "Well, my work here is done. Good luck finding the little guy. I know he's in there somewhere." And he, wanders off, taking his
Thank you,
cigar
sir.
back. He gives you a little salute.
Sammy
Now
waves.
don't come back to my theater.
Yes, sir.
This dog needs a raise.
He does.
Alright. So, yeah, Jackie's vanished into the trash bin.
Can Sammy roll another perception check?
I mean, if you want, you have another way to do this. Actually, you have an entire hammer space, to be fair, but that's entirely imagination on your end. So if you want to roll, again, I really should say no, though. You know what, I'm going to have to say no, man. I can't let you roll for the same thing, 5 different times.
That's fair. I don't really know.
Do a thonk. Think hard. More random squeaks as there's digging through the trash. He's, it's a pretty full trash can, which is disgusting considering. The bin is, apparently it's trash days tomorrow or something by the looks of things. And you hear a tiny little as a little thunk as the rat makes it to the bottom and then starts shimmying through its trash some more.
Is there? I don't really know what to do.
Do you want a hint?
Yes, please.
It's a rat in there.
Is it just
Jackie
the rat?
is a rat.
Is it just Jackie in there?
Jackie is a rat.
Right?
Okay, screw it. Squeakers.
Oh. Duh. I'm sorry.
One more. I have caved. I'm terrible. I'm a bad DM.
No, I'm just a bad player. I don't think about the obvious thing. Sammy kind of looks at Squeakers and is like, "Can you help Jackie find Koda? Maybe there's a lot to cover."
Well, you play Squeakers. Go ahead.
Squeakers nods and then dives in
All right.
with
Squeakers has entered
kind
the
of
trap.
with a kind of Ghibli fur shiver because it's trash.
Cute. He has entered the realm of trash. The little albino rat can make his way to the bottom, and he sees Jackie at the bottom scooting. It's the famous trash room. He's scooting his way through the piles to go to what looks to be a carved out hole in the bin.
I should have gone with my hunch and just moved the trash bin.
That would definitely have worked.
Anyway, so Squeakers is I guess following Sammy because Sammy's not really good with words, apparently. He is not great at really emoting or wording or really building connections, even though he really, really deep down wants some, even underneath all of the numb that sometimes pops up.
You've chosen a terrible friend in the form of Koda. A terrible friend. This is a terrible idea. Why have you done this to yourself?
Because Sammy makes really, really questionable choices.
Apparently. All right. Well, with Squeakers following him, Jackie shimmies, not even shimmies, he just, walks right into the hole. And it, surprise, surprise, leads to another hole in the wall. This one's plenty big enough for the two rats, more than big enough, and big enough for Koda as well, because in it, Squeakers can see a little pair of, 1 second. He sees a little pair of red eyes with red and yellow eyes peering from the darkness.
Squeakers squeaks a hello.
Koda just kind of stares at the rat, the albino rat. It's really cool looking, man. He's never seen an albino rat. But then he notices Jackie and lets out this squeak of joy that Sammy can hear outside because it's quite loud, and scrabbles forward to hold Jackie to himself.
Squeakers kind of nods because he was getting a little worried with how Jackie wasn't able to find Koda, and kind of walks over and pats Koda on the foot.
Koda's okay with this. It's a rat. Rats are friends. And he's stroking Jackie as he kind of nuzzles the little rat. Jackie, meanwhile, is going on this spiel about how he's very excitedly explaining how the dog guard, Billy apparently, and Sammy, the strange black and white Toon, saved him from a cat and then helped him return to you, and he's going this long tale and it's very grand, and Koda's just nodding his head and every so often repeating what he says, but the strange thing is he's not speaking Grolix or Common or anything.
Squeakers kind of tilts his head and is just like, huh, that's weird.
So yeah.
And then shrugs because it's not really his business.
So he's petting the rat and looks very, very dubious at some of the things that's being said. And he repeats, "Black tune, black white tune, help." Don't trust
At
black white tune.
this point, Squeakers kind of is a little indignant because, hey, that's his boy that he's doubting right there. Sammy didn't mean any harm, and squeaks really indignantly.
Koda looks at the Squeakers and lowers his ears a bit in surprise. Like, why is this rat squeaking now? Did he say something? He doesn't know.
Squeakers is has his little paws on his hips and it's just his tail is lashing, and then he kind of just turns to Jackie and is like, "My boy did not mean to scare Koda, and he helped you. Tell your boy that he helped.
Oh, the little
All he wants is a friend."
The little voice cracks. Totally canon.
All he wants is a friend.
All right. So Jackie nods along and relays this to Koda, who looks more and more confused. His ears kind of. 1 second. You can see from very, very faintly that his ears are slowly gaining a bit of color, which is kind of strange. They had been pitch black before, but they're slowly returning to the gray that he normally is.
Oh, Squeakers is gonna really kind of hone in on that because for several years that Squeakers had known Sammy had changed colors, and for a while Sammy had lost that, and all of a sudden this evening Sammy's gotten colors back, and here's this tune who also can slightly change colors. In Squeaker's brain, that's connected.
Oh, precious Squeakers. Oh, you've connected the dots. You've connected nothing. I've connected the dots.
I've connected them.
Oh, how cute. All right. I completely lost track though. What was happening before? Okay, yeah. Squeaker's mad. Jackie relays. Koda gray again.
Gray and confused.
So, Koda eyes his own rat companion, and then eyes Squeakers, and then eyes his rat companion, and grumbles something under his breath, but slowly starts scooting towards where the hole is, the entrance to the hole.
Squeakers is just very kind of still kind of upset, just the least you can do is thank him.
Koda appears to ignore Squeakers. I mean, at least that's what it looks like.
Squeakers is just grumbling under his breath about rude little children who don't know how to say thank you.
Thank you for what? Oh, that's his reaction to that. But he doesn't say anything.
Say thank you for returning your own rat.
So yeah, Koda stops at the hole in the wall and stares into the trash bin. He doesn't move anymore. He just kind of sits there. And Jackie's patting him on the head and kind of shaking his own head at Squeakers, but he's just kind of the two of them are just sitting there, one in Koda's grasp and the other just staring uncertainly, with a very blank expression on his face.
Squeakers just kind of sighs and then scrambles up to talk to Sammy, just kind of very much in a huff, just oh my gosh, rude little
little that's a good description. Little
So Squeakers just kind of hops up to Sammy's hand and is just he's there. They're reunited. I don't even know if he's gonna say thank you. Grumble, 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 grumble. and like crosses those little paws and is like, pout. I don't know what you want to do now, but like, it's there. That we're united. Maybe just we could go home.
Oh, squeakers.
Because, like, this is his boy, and this younger Toon just kind of, like, deflamed his
He's
character.
a brat. He's being
He's
a
a
brat.
Oh, Squeakers is just like, Sammy, I don't know if you want to be friends with this kid. Even though he does kind of look like he might need a friend. But still.
Well, I
As
mean,
your
you poor Sammy.
like, there's just a little bit more that Squeakers is just gonna say. As your parent is like your rat parent, I say maybe we should go home. Sammy.
Rat
No.
parent?
No. You may have helped me, but no. You're not my mom.
Wait, back up a second here. Rat parent? Oh,
Not biological.
I figured not. I mean, but then again, Toons.
I say what I said.
Alright, so what's Sammy gonna do?
Sammy just kind of rolls his eyes and is like, dude, you... Sammy just kind of like remembers that he found the scarf, and at this point he's kind of starting to register the cold again, because it's still cold and snowy, even though people's moods are starting to lift, and he kind of just is like, I found a scarf. Do you want it? It's kind of cold.
For the first time, the Toon directly speaks to Sammy, but it's mostly just grumbling that all you can hear.
Sammy, like, is just like, very awkwardly, because he's an awkward Toon. He hasn't really talked to people in like ever. So his only real like companion has been Squeakers, and Squeaker's a really great friend and a really great parent in parent actual absence. But like, Sammy has like no idea how to talk to other Toons. He was lucky to even talk kind of coherently to the dog, to like Billy.
Billy Barkson.
To Billy Barkson, and like he just is like, I'm sorry we got off on the wrong foot. What'd you think about the movie? Because he's trying to go through all of his half-remembered kind of social niceties.
Small talk. Gotta love it. Alright. Yeah, a small talk. Okay. So, Koda, after a long silence, kind of, in a brute show of strength, pushes the entire trash bin away from the wall, from the hole in the wall. Like, it's very ridiculous that he just, one-handed this whole thing, and then kind of shimmies out a little bit. You can just barely see his red and yellow eyes peeking out from the darkness, but you can see his very frowny face, with Jackie the Rat sitting on his head. You're from the bridge.
Oh, is that why you're so familiar? I'd been wondering since, like, when the engineer jumped off the bridge when we were watching the movie. Like, you fight good.
Koda kind of bristles up a little bit. You can't tell if he's mad or pleased. It just kind of starts bristling, his purple fur sticking up.
Sammy kind of, like, raises his hands, is, like, kind of like, sorry if I upset you? Question mark? He, like, there's an audible question mark as he says.
I just imagine Squeaker's face palming in the background.
Squeakers has tried, but Sammy is not very good at socially speaking.
Oh. Alright. Koda kind of snorts a little bit. It's very undignified. And says, "Thanks for Jackie."
Sammy kind of turns slightly yellow and is like, I'm glad that you two are together again. It is bad when you don't have your people around. And then he's slightly blue.
Absolute silence from the bat-like tune. He's just kind of crouching in his hole.
Sammy just kind of awkwardly nods and like kind of holds out the scarf and is like, I think blue would look really good on you. There's still a very audible question mark. Like there's a few question marks coming out of his mouth as he's speaking.
I can't tell if this is precious or painful.
Like running with the whole entire thing that Sammy just does not know how to like make
friends. And he
doesn't know how to do anything.
He chose the most antisocial. Okay. All right.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He's still really determined, but he has no idea what he's doing.
So you're holding the blue scarf up to him? Like, how is this? Is it right in his face?
Like, it's kind of like he has like one end of the scarf, and then like it's long enough that it's kind of just dangling in the hole if Koda wants to grab it, if he wants to bat it away, or whatever.
Koda
Sammy's just
pokes
kind
the
of
scarf.
like leaving it up.
He just pokes it.
It wiggles. It wiggles.
Does a little shimmy.
Yep.
Okay. Koda pushes the scarf slightly to the side so he can look up at Sammy and kind of narrows his gaze a little bit and huffs before digging his claws into the scarf and basically ripping it from Sammy's grip.
Sammy lets it go and is just like, yay, at least one of us won't be cold.
He has fur, damn it!
He does, but Sammy doesn't really think about it in those kind of terms.
Oh.
Like, all he knows is that he's kind of cold, but he's worried that this little guy might be even colder, so he doesn't really care about himself. He cares about other people.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna ask, feel free to make me roll insight or whatever, but is Sammy shivering or any specific color or anything that I can figure out here?
Yeah, he's kind of... it's obvious that he's kind of shivering, but, like, if you want more than that, you're gonna have to, like...
Yeah, okay, I'll roll insight. I want to roll insight. What's my insight again? Is it terrible? It's probably terrible. Oh, +1. Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, he doesn't notice anything else besides the fact that, yeah, he looks a little cold.
Okay. Koda starts bringing the scarf up to his chest to snuggle into, because soft. And then...
Sammy looks really satisfied with that, because he likes giving people things, even if it's with his own expense.
As he's doing this, you hear squeaking coming from Jackie. It's muffled because he's pressed up against Koda, so you can't quite make out what he's saying. But after a moment, Koda turns his gaze slightly towards Jackie, grumbles something unintelligible, bundles up the scarf into a ball and throws it back at Sammy and says, "There, now even. You be warm."
Sammy's like, "No, you be warm," and throws it back in his face.
Koda huffs in frustration, bundles up again, and throws it back and says, "You be warm."
No, you!
This is ridiculous. You can see Jackie facepalm.
Squeakers is just like, this is my boy.
He throws it back again. He's starting to bristle a little bit, but you can see him kind of start to smirk.
Sammy's just like, no, why will you not accept the scarf? Keeps throwing it back, just like, and like he's kind of like turning like a slight like, he's like, he was kind of yellow before, but now he's kind of even more blue because he's like, kind of like, it's like a bluish purple, but like really faint. He's just like, it gets really cold. Please just take it.
Oh, all
I
right.
will be fine.
At this point, I'm gonna say that Koda kind of jolts back a little bit. Like it's very, very small jolt. It's more like he wasn't expecting Sammy's voice to just go flat like that. And the scarf kind of flops to the ground. Koda peeks down at the scarf and looks both ways essentially before crawling out into this small space behind the trash can, between the trash can and the hole in the wall. He picks up the scarf and shuffles around so that he doesn't have to crane to look up directly up at Sammy. So he shuffles around so he's not behind the trash can.
Sammy kind of like crouches down a little bit because, yeah, so like they're a little bit more eye level.
Koda doesn't go up to Sammy. He just kind of peeks his head around the trash bin. So behind the bin, if you're no longer craning over it, all you can see is this little his ears poking out the top to the side of the bin. You know, like on the right side, these long ears are peeking out, and then these two bright red eyes coming from purple fur. And he kind of glares at you and says, "I don't like you, but you helped Jackie. Take scarf, be warm."
Sammy just kind of stares at him and is like, I don't need to be warm. Someone else should be warm.
You can see his ears flop down, and he just kind of hisses a little bit before snapping, "Fine." And he starts wrapping the scarf around his own neck and kind of backs away a little bit, back in behind the trash bin.
Sammy kind of just, from the blue fades into white, and then it fades back into a light yellow.
Both of you. All right, Koda. Can I say Koda notices this? Like,
yeah.
Okay, good.
It's very obvious.
All right. One of his ears kind of twitches, and he eyes Sammy like, "You changed color." Okay. He's not used to seeing someone else do that. Aside from, I mean, I guess technically the engineer does, but
that's more of a saturation than a...
Yeah. He's not used to seeing anyone, and the only other person he's seen do something like that has been on a movie screen. So he just kind of stares at you, his eyes widening slightly as he, grips the scarf that he's wrapped around his neck. And then he frowns and says, "What's yellow mean?"
Sammy blinks. Yellow? And then it's gone. It's completely white.
Koda stomps his foot and says, "You were yellow."
I was?
Yes!
And there is a slight hint of purple.
Now you're purple!
Sammy's eyes are wide. The purple is starting to darken.
Koda is getting frustrated, and very faint hints of pink are appearing in his ears.
Sammy kind of like looks at his hands and like notices the shading on his hands, and then goes, "Oh, Peck, no, 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 no. Can't. I can't. Go back. Can't show, can't show, can't show.
Koda's gone back to gray at this point. And just kind of stares at Sammy, and he says, "What the peck's wrong with you?"
And Sammy just kind of lets out this little helpless laugh. What's not wrong with me?
Peck! And he starts grumbling to himself as more squeaks come from, within his fur, essentially, because Jackie's, Jackie's, bundle up in there because it's warm. And Koda stamps his foot once, but he doesn't look mad. He just, you know what? Roll insight.
Okay. I need to go back to my ability scores. Skills. Insight. +1. 1. 4.
Of course. All right. Yeah, okay. I'll just do what I accidentally left slipped and say that he doesn't look mad. But he is stamping his foot and glaring at you all the same. Like, what's the expression? Hot air? He's just grumbling at you, and he says, Jackie says be nice, so fine. Please go away.
Sammy kind of just laughs, and it's kind of like a hollow laugh, because he didn't really know what he expected, but he knew he kind of was getting his hopes up, but he was still kind of hoping anyway.
All right.
And kind of nods, like, all right, fine. If you really want me gone that badly, I'll leave.
All right. Can I roll insight? Like, do I need to roll insight for it to be? Is it apparent that he's depressed, man? Is it apparent?
Yes, it's very, very apparent that he's depressed.
All right, cool. Koda looks very surprised as you, like, his ears actually light up very faintly, but you don't catch the color. Just that they changed colors for a split second. And before his expression also kind of goes blank again, and he very hesitantly grabs your sleeve. Like, it's a split second moment where he reaches out to snag it, but then hesitates and kind of his claws just scrape against it.
Sammy kind of just he's gone back to white. He's kind of just like, it's white. There's absolutely no color anymore. He just kind of looks at Koda and is like, you wanted me to leave. I'll go. I can go if you really want.
Didn't think you'd listen.
And there's kind of like another quiet little half-hearted chuckle.
People don't listen normally.
If you really want me to listen, I'll listen and go.
Koda's arm is still outstretched, and he doesn't seem to notice this, but as Jackie scrambles out from his fur and launches himself. He runs across Koda's arm and launches up onto Sammy to give him a big hug. Koda quickly retracts his arm as Jackie gives Sammy a really big hug on his arm and says, "No, don't go. Coda's not this mean. Normally he's speaking rat gibberish, but if you still have your speak with animals on,
yeah, like,
you get the basic gist that don't leave."
Sammy kind of blinks at Jackie and is just like, I'm getting really like it's kind of visible on his face. Like, he's getting really confused because he's starting to he kind of finally clued into like the fact that Koda kind of really didn't maybe want him there, and he was maybe being a bother, and like all of these like things, and all of a sudden Jackie's saying, "No, you should probably stay," and like Sammy's just like he doesn't really know what to do with this.
Koda watches as Jackie launches himself at Sammy, and his ears droop very, very slightly as he starts to, go back behind the trash bin.
Sammy just kind of gestures with his free hand and is just like, "You should go back with Koda. You should be with him. I don't know if he needs me or needs me as company. I don't really know what I was thinking." And then there's a slight bitter laugh that he lets out.
These two are impossible. This is ridiculous.
I
know. Very mad squeaks from Jackie. Pretty much the only word you can make out from frustration, essentially, is present.
Sammy is like, present?
Jackie takes a very squeaky inhale, shakes his whole body, his fur floofing up, and says, no one's ever helped him. That scarf was the first time someone's helped. I mean, it's one thing to help me, but Koda came out because you helped me. Then you gave him a scarf. Does that make sense?
Sammy kind of nods, but he also looks confused and also a little concerned. There's the slightest hint of like blue on him.
Very frustrated squeaks before Jackie gives up and looks at Squeakers and starts gesturing wildly.
Squeakers is just like, honey, I think what Koda needs is for you to stay, even if he says he doesn't. Sammy just kind of stirs at both rats and is like, but he said for me to go.
Sammy, baby, please. You're so sweet. You can hear shuffling as, or rather a scraping as the bin starts to, be pulled back into place.
Sammy is just like, he's just really confused. He hasn't had emotions in like a really long time. So like, even like with like all of his like desires to make a friend, to like do all of these things, it's honestly really overwhelming because he hasn't had emotions for so long and now he's starting to feel them again.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. You chose the worst possible tune to try and befriend.
I know. It makes for great storytelling, though.
It makes for ridiculous backs and forths.
I know. Yeah, I don't really know what else Sammy can do because, like, he's extremely confused, slightly overwhelmed. Koda said to go, Jackie said to stay, and, like, he's getting, like, two different sides, and he's like, I don't even really know the kid. Why the heck am I here? Why am I doing this? I'm still really confused myself.
So you hear shuffling from the little hole in the wall behind the bin, and Jackie lets out another kind of squeak. very frustrated sounding, like, why? Grabs your ear and starts kind of pulling you in the direction away from the bin. Like, he's trying to lead you. He's doing a Remy on you right now, but with your ear.
He follows. He has nothing better to do. He's really confused. He needs the guidance.
He starts. All right, so as you hear shuffling in the from the behind the bin, he leads you along back underneath the clothesline, back to the barrels. The dog's gone by now. Bye, Billy. Past the barrels, near the magical looking graffiti, the spray cans, and back to the hole in the wall, and just points.
Do you want me to drop you off there?
Squeaking, that sounds like no.
Do you want me to go in there? I can only stick my head in if you remember.
Stay!
Stay?
And with that, Jackie scrambles off and runs off back where you came from.
Sammy kind of blinks confusedly and then, like, looks at Squeakers and is like, I guess we're staying? There's another very audible question mark.
This is more painful than I expected, and I expected much pain. So after a little bit, Koda comes flying back with Jackie perched on his head, and he looks around and then does a bit of a double take as he sees you in front of his hole.
Sammy kind of, like, awkwardly waves and then kind of just shrugs, like, your rat told me to stay. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hi.
Very audible hissing comes from Koda. He shoulders past you, goes into his little hidey hole. Nothing happens for a second. Sammy just gonna stand there while Koda's in there.
Sammy kind of contorts his body very cartoonishly to like try and peek into if he can see what Koda's doing in there.
As he does so, a raggedy blanket hits him in the face, and Koda says, "Stay, be warm, stupid."
Sammy blinks and like kind of pulls off the blanket from his head and blinks. And then, despite himself, there is a very, very deep shading of yellow.
Very audible grumbling, but Koda just kind of curls up on top of his pillow and wraps his scarf around himself. Jackie is just kind of sitting there looking at you with big eyes.
Waiting for Sammy to stay.
Pretty much.
Sammy just kind of sighs and is like, okay, fine. Like, kind of, he doesn't say that, but like that's kind of in his body posture as he looks at Jackie and is just like, okay, fine. Okay, you win.
Triumphant squeaking.
Sammy just kind of like plops himself down kind of like by the side of the hole because he can't really fit in the actual hidey hole, and just kind of wraps himself up in the blanket and just it's like, I'm here now. I guess I'm staying.
There's a bit of an awkward silence between the two, which is hardly surprising. Before Koda grumbles out, "Why are you here? You were at bridge. Why are you here again?"
Sammy just kind of thinks about it and kind of just looks a little confusedly at Koda like, I was at the bridge. What do you mean? Why am I here? Where?
He huffs. and snuggles into his pillow and says, "You fought with me at bridge. Bad zombie tune things. Why?
Why did I want to see you again?
Yeah.
You had my back. Sometimes it's okay to have someone at your back. You fought good."
Koda lifts his head a little bit and blinks at you kind of owlishly before huffing and hunkering down again, but then says, "Moved crate. Moved crate
Move
to the
crate.
left."
Sammy kind of blinks and's like, shrugs. Okay, and moves the crate to the left.
What you hadn't noticed is that the crate was actually blocking a much larger hole than what you were expecting. It kind of did this weird figure 8 shape where a tiny little hole to the side was revealed, but the crate was blocking a larger hole in the wall. And while the space in the actual hole itself is quite small, you could feasibly make your way inside. It'd be very cramped, but you could do it.
Sammy kind of blinks at it and then kind of turns to Koda and is like, points and like, do you want me in there?
He turns his back on you and just grumbles, but, doesn't do anything else.
Sammy just kind of, you can't really see it because he has his mask on, but he kind of smiles at that and just kind of shrugs and like clambers into the hole.
It is cold.
It is cold. He kind of like hugs the blanket and is like, this is nice.
Koda huffs one more time and kind of glances you over his shoulder and says, "Don't like you, but you can stay. It's cold. So, thanks again." And he kind of shuffles over to the side to make as much room as possible with its pillow clutched in his hands. But he's very definitely snuggling into the scarf you gave him.
And Sammy is very, very much shaded in yellow, and then it kind of fades slowly. And like, there's a slight eye crinkle that kind of signifies that Sammy is still smiling even after his skin's gone back to white.
And with that, do you want to end the session?
I think that should be good.
All right. That'll be it. With Koda and Sammy hunkering in the tiny little hole of the wall.
I'm so sorry that Sammy's so bad with words.
I'm sorry that Koda's antisocial.
They make quite a pair.
Aw, they liked it. I thought it was painfully awkward because I was afraid, but no, it was actually liked. The people liked it.
I'm glad.
I was really glad though because you did your best to stick with Sammy and it was so sweet. Meanwhile, Koda's like, he wants to thank you, but he also really doesn't want to thank you.
Like, for Sammy, I know that, like, probably Sammy's, like, never actually gonna hear Koda say that they're friends until, like, a lot of character development, but that's kind of what he low-key needed to hear.
Uh-huh. So yeah, it's Koda's tsundere. He's
Tsundere.
tsundere. The two of them are just kind of snuggled up in a tiny little hole. Also, I want to point out something that I was gonna have one of the graffiti cans have big googly eyes that you could talk to. You could talk to the can.
I, like, thought about it, but, like, at the same time, it was like, I
really wanted to say that, because googly eyes disguise. It just makes you wonder now, is it a disguise? Is it a can? What is it? I don't know. I had to throw that in there because I was really, really proud of my stupid joke.
I was considering asking the cans if they had seen Koda,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember my train of thought about why I didn't.
Also, Breaks is right. Wear the get along scarf.
Yes.
Billy Barkson! Billy! Oh, I had nothing planned for him, but Billy became a character. Billy! He was the true favorite of this session.
I'm like gritting and my cheeks hurt.
Yeet the cat, it misses Billy, it goes into heavens. Billy and the calico. That I'm just gonna say now that calico was the one that magically ended up in the forest. Probably because you yeeted him so hard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeeted her, rather. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's canon now in my game that you yeeted that cat straight to the forest.
Cat go yeet.
But by Toon logic, even though that cat's not a Toon, by Toon logic, the cat was unharmed. Alright, well, with that all done, and with our little dude's reluctant friends, and Billy Barkson having been made a character that apparently I need to, put in NPCs or something, do you want to move over to General or something?
Sure.
Alright, I'm going to General if you guys want to follow. The pain of that session was real. Those two were impossible.